Hi, this is Theo from Blockx.com. Today I'm going to review Blockx Watercolor. Blockx is a company that is established in 1865, so that's more than 100 years ago, and it's founded by this guy called Jakes Blockx, a chemist. So this is a family business that they have passed down over the years, over generations, and currently they make more than just watercolors. They also have like oil, pastels, pigments, watercolor, and many other stuff. Anyway, the reason why I managed to get this number of colors is, well, 11 months ago they wanted to re-release their box set of 12 colors, so they sent out some samples to some artists. I managed to get some colors. Actually I got 28 colors, so some of these colors, most of these colors are actually Blockx watercolor, except for this few here, which is Winsor & Newton. By the way, this is a Winsor & Newton box. I removed some of the colors and replaced them with Blockx watercolor. So these are the 28 colors that I received. Today I'm not going to test everything. I'm just going to test the 12 colors that I recommend. The 12 colors that I actually recommend to the person who sent it to me, because they wanted suggestions on what colors to include in their 12 pan box set. So I will just test those 12 colors today. I have already prepared my water and a color swatch drawing here. So I'm just going to test the different colors. Not all colors are transparent, so the only colors that I recommend are those that are transparent because they are easier to mix. If you mix transparent with opaque, you are going to get opaque, so that's not very nice when it comes to pen and ink watercolor work, especially for me, because I want the lines to still show through. So today I've drawn the boxes like this. I'm going to overlay the colors over the lines to let you see whether or not the colors are transparent. I'm going to let you see the intensity of the colors, and then I'm going to do a demo coloring of this rough sketch that I drew. Also, I'm going to show you some examples of sketches that I've drawn and painted with this set of colors. So the first color I'm going to show you is Blockx Yellow. Blockx Yellow like lemon yellow. You can see that it's quite transparent and very intense as well, very much on the cool side. So usually for primary colors I like to have a cool and a warm. So the next color is Gambosh, which is a slightly warmer yellow, more like a sunny side egg type of yellow. Also quite transparent. Next I'm going to show you Gold Ochre. Gold Ochre is a very nice color that I like to use when mixing skin tones. In fact, I use quite a lot of Gold Ochre and it's almost running out, because this is a very convenient color to use. You can use it straight from the pen itself, or you can use it to mix skin tones, and it's quite transparent. And it's not very strong, so you have to mix a lot if you want a very intense color. Next color is Pyro Red. Pyro Red is a very strong red color. You can see that this is like almost opaque, I would say, if you use too much of it. But the lines can still show through, but just barely. This is almost like a fire engine red color. Very, very strong. Next, I want to show you Queen Magenta. Queen Magenta should be this color. Is it this color? Or is this Crimson Lake? I'm not too sure. So you see, the problem is with so many colors, you should always label them. I'm not sure if this is actually Queen Magenta. Let me check my... Okay, let me start with, this is Crimson Lake. I labeled this one somewhere, and this is Crimson Lake. So this is like permanent Alizari Crimson, a cool version of that. Very nice, very strong as well. So this is definitely cream magenta because this is purplish in color. So this is like a cool red, purple, blue thing. Mostly transparent, this too. Next up, it's primary blue. Primary blue is actually like your phthalo blue, very intense blue. And transparent as well. Ultramarine Deep is a color that I use very often, and it's almost running out here because it's so convenient to use it to mix dark clouds and shadow areas, and there is some granulating aspect here as well. Cerulean Gray is a variation of cerulean blue, color that I like very much also because of the granulation. And this is a very nice color for mixing skies as well, and also some gray tones. So right now I have 3 yellows, 3 reds, and 3 blues. Nowadays when I pick colors for my 12 color box sets, I try to include 3 yellows, 3 reds, and 3 blues. The more primary colors you include in your set, the wider the range of colors you can mix. And that is why there is. I also included some convenient colors like this color here, Blockx Green, which is quite similar to phthalo green, but for this version it's a bit stronger than phthalo green, just slightly stronger. And then I have burnt sienna light. It seems that Blockx has different variations of burnt sienna, just like Daniel Smith have their burnt sienna, Italian burnt sienna. Here we have burnt sienna light. And this is quite difficult to dissolve, probably because I have not used this for a very long time. This is really quite light. Or is this burnt sienna? Yep, I think this is drawing up to be a problem. This should be Payne's Gray. Yep. So this should be burnt umber. Sorry about that. I haven't used these colors for a very long time. So one problem that I have with Blockx is some of their colors, when they dry, they can be a bit difficult to wet because they form some sort of glossy surface on the paint. Yep, it's starting to come through. You can see the colors starting to come out. So I really have to go in and dig out her color. This is burnt umber. Burnt sienna is not a very strong color. You need to use a lot of pigments to get the strong color. So I'm doing my best to dig out as much pigment as possible. Even so, it's quite light. You can see that this is very, very light. They use gum arabic and some honey. Okay, the colors are starting to show, you can see here, but it's still very difficult to dissolve this. Anyway, these are the 12 colors that I recommend. So if you are going to be using the colors often, not so much of a problem, but if you leave them to dry and unused for too long, you are going to get the special protective coating that prevents it from dissolving again. So some of the colors do have that characteristics. For example, take a look at this one, this color here. It dried. So for this color, this is neutral tint. There's actually this thing, this layer on top of it. And if you look at these 4 colors, I did not add any water on it, and they appear to be very glossy. But if you add water, then you can just use them. Just for comparison purposes, these are Winsor & Newton pens. So yep, they are glossy looking as well. glossy looking as well, so no problem. But the real test comes when you actually use your brush to dissolve the pigments. Alright, now I'm going to show you the different color mixtures I can mix with the color selection I showed you earlier. I'm going to mix a bright orange, so I'm going to use Gumbosh. Is this Gumbosh? No, sorry, wrong color. Gumbosh is this color, so this is a bit warmer. Bright yellow and a bit of pyro red. So you can see this is the bright orange I can get. Very nice, very intense. Next, I'm going to show you how I mix a purple. I can use a Crimson Lake. This is Crimson Lake. And mix it with some Ultramarine to see what I can get. This is Crimson Lake and some Ultramarine. If you want a brighter purple, you can mix a cooler red sort of. I have Queen Magenta as well. This is Queen Magenta. So I'm gonna mix Queen Magenta and Ultramarine. You can see that this purple here is much brighter. I have one green included in the palette, which is Blockx green, which is this very strong green. I also mix my own greens. Sometimes I use this cool yellow with some primary blue. So I get a color like this. This is like a yellow green. Of course, I can add in a bit more blue. Once I add in a bit more blue, it becomes quite similar to this Blockx green, which is similar to phthalo green. And if I want a gray tone, I now can add maybe Crimson Lake to it to really dial down the green. So this is sort of a gray tone that I can get with green plus Crimson Lake, or I can mix it with Queen Magenta as well. So usually for green, I include it because I want to mix a gray tone. I think that's about all. So 3 primary colors. I'm going to show you how I use them to do maybe a sketch like this. Let me start with the skin tone first. I'm going to mix some gold ochre, just a bit of gold ochre, and maybe a bit of Crimson Lake. So you can see this color here. This is not very bright, but I think quite suitable for the skin tone. Maybe a bit more gold ochre and a bit more Crimson Lake. So you can see this skin tone is really dialed down. If you want it to be warmer, you can do so. You just add a bit of red to it. Red is very strong, so be careful. You get something like that, a more flashier skin tone. After it dries, it will lighten up. And for the pens here, maybe Ultramarine and burnt Sienna. And maybe be careful not to go over the lines. For the coat, maybe a bright orange coat. So I'm going to use a bright orange coat here. Maybe a bit more red. Maybe this guy has blue or purple hair, so let's give him some purple hair. Bright purple hair. Again with Queen Magenta and Ultramarine. Let me show you some examples from a sketchbook. This is a sketchbook that I brought to Hong Kong. I use Blockx Watercolor for all the sketches inside. And this is a Stillman and Burn sketchbook. The paper is sort of like cartridge paper. It accepts light washes, but the colors appear a bit dull on it because of the paper, not because of the pigment. I just want to show you some sketches colored with this watercolor. I love the granulating texture. I'm not sure what I used to mix this. Probably ultramarine or cerulean gray. Some gray tones that I managed to get. Notice that some of the colors are not totally transparent, so if you use too much pigment, the lines will be blocked by the pigment. This is Ocean Park in Hong Kong. And this is in Macau. This is cerulean blue, I'm pretty sure, because it's much lighter. This is how the colors look like when they are dry. Very intense, especially for the red, the blue, and the yellows. Ultramarine Deep is also quite strong. You can see the granulating texture. Cerulean blue is very nice. You can see all these patterns going on. Blockx green also very good. Yellow curve, very nice for skin tone. You can even use it straight like this. It's very good. As for burnt sienna and burnt umber, again, just now I mentioned that they dry with, when they dry, it's a bit difficult to dissolve. So burnt sienna, burnt umber, if you use them often, not a problem, but if you leave them to dry for too long, this is going to be what you get. Crimson Lake, pretty nice as well. And this is the color mixture when dry. Overall, I find Blockx Watercolor to be quite high quality. They are intense, although there are some odd colors. For me, that would be burnt sienna, burnt umber, neutral tint. Perhaps, in my case, I left them out for too long and I've not used them for a very long time, so now they are very difficult to dissolve. So I'm not sure why, or maybe it's because of the formulation. They use gum arabic and honey, although honey is supposed to keep the pens wet, but in this case, for pens, hard pens like this, probably honey is not really required. Anyway, Blockx, their color range is up to 76. Some are transparent and some are opaque, so you might want to check out their color chart to check out which one is transparent. I also have a text review for all the colors that I have tested, and that text review I will post it in the video description below, so you can get the link there if you want to check out things like transparency, how light fast the colors are. Actually, I did not test for the light fast because it takes too much time on my part, but the light fast rating are sourced from their website, so if you want to check that out, you can check out the text review in the video description. I think that's all for my video review today. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below, and if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so for more art product reviews, sketching tips, techniques, and also you can support me on Patreon to help me make a living so that I can create more videos in the future. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.